All right, for those of you who've been asking about how to fit 37-inch tires on a Power Wagon 14 and up, let me show you what I have going on so that way everybody understands what's involved and where the misconceptions are. So that way we can try to get some clear understanding of what it is that happens when you go to 37s and what you can expect. So keep in mind, depending upon what tire choice you go with, will determine, what type of fitment issues you're going to have. So every 37 by 1250 is not going to be the same. Every 37 by 1350 is not going to be the same. If you're on a factory wheel, that's kind of where we're going with on this video, is how do these tires fit on this wheel with stock suspension, meaning no leveling kit, no third springs, bone stock suspension. So let's go ahead and turn this around and see what we can look at. The tire that I'm running is the Pro Comp AT Sport. It's an all-terrain tire. The size is 37 by 1250 by 17 on a factory Power Wagon wheel for 2017, but that wheel spec should be the same as 14 and up, or maybe even some of the earlier ones. I'm not really sure. But for the purposes of this video, we're talking about 14 and up. That being said, biggest question is what do I need to trim, right? So if you look in here, obviously everybody and their mom has seen the video on what happens when you need to cut this piece of plastic out right here. If you look very, very carefully, and it's kind of hard to see with the camera, but right here you can see a little bit of witness mark that I get right there. Now, the only reason I get that is when I pull out of my driveway and I have my wheel canted just slightly and it's in the right condition, right spot, right time. Other than that, I don't hear anything out of the front unless I turn my wheel to full lock. Now there you can see the witness mark a little bit better on the radius arm. That is based on offset and back spacing. I'm not going to get into an argument on which one is better to go by, if you're going off of back spacing or if you are going off of offset. They are two totally separate numbers, and one directly affects the other, and one of them is consistent no matter what wheel width you have, and the other one is inconsistent. So that's going to be another video for another time. But on a factory wheel with this tire, with this suspension, that's the most that I get at full lock during turning on the driver's side. If we go around to the passenger side, I have 0 witness marks on that plastic whatsoever. It doesn't matter if I pull out of my driveway the other way, turn my wheel, stomp on the gas, whatever, get in reverse, none of that. We don't, there's no witness marks whatsoever. If you look at the inside of the radius arm on this one, again, about the same. It's not enough to wear through the paint on that radius arm, but it's enough to show you that you are getting rub, and it is audible, meaning you can hear it. So that is the most that I get out of running this on stock suspension. Will a leveling kit change the rub? Not on the radius arm, it won't. It might change a little bit coming out of my driveway. But one thing that we do need to look at is the touch on the sway bar. So I'm trying to angle this so that y'all can see it. That you can definitely see witness marks. And you can see two different kind of feathering angles. That's based on suspension articulation, compression, and where the axle is at in relation to how much the sway bar is twisting inside of the sway bar bushings. So that's why you have two different feathering directions there of tire rub. If we go to the driver's side, and again, I'm trying to do this so that y'all can see it, the rub is there. You can, it's hard to see with the angle and the polishing of that, but that's where you're gonna get rub, okay? Again, this is based on stock suspension with this tire on factory wheels for, I mean, my truck is a 17, but 14 and up, it's basically gonna be the exact same thing. So I hope that clears up some confusion as far as how do you fit these tires on and what can you expect. Maybe eventually I'll get into doing the plastic trim right in there that everybody talks about. Right now I'm not in a hurry because it's not something that concerns me enough to warrant touching the plastic at this point. Anyway, if anybody has anything to say about it, great. I hope this was instructional for some people. Maybe it kind of clears up a little bit of the mud in the water. And last but not least, I know it's kind of an old thing that's been going on, and maybe it's not considered current, but Epstein didn't kill himself.